birthday. Now it looks like a paramecium. My brother told me that from across the room my back looks like a black dog with an erection. So I joined a walking club, and it's mostly older women. We meet in the morning, walk through the neighborhood. And the cool thing about it is on trash day, our neighbors put out their recycling bins, and we get to see what they've been drinking all week. And there are some big drunks in my town, which is candy. Last week we were out, and we came across this recycling bin that was just filled with liquor bottles. And the group stopped, and the older ladies were disgusted. They were appalled that anybody could drink that much. And I wasn't saying anything because we were in front of my house. One of the old women said, "Bobby, don't you live here?" And I said, "Well, I do, but you see, my father, he's been staying with us for a couple of weeks." And she said, "I thought you said your father was dead." And I said, "Well, after drinking all that, I'm not surprised." My father was a very homely man. To look at him, you would be surprised that any woman would have sex with him. And yet my mother, God bless her, had 8 children by him and 2 of his friends. My father lost every job he ever had. And growing up, we never realized why. And later on, we found out that he was diagnosed as being ADD. He was a damn drunk. In my house, my father was in charge of discipline, and his weapon of choice was the belt. And I can remember, as a kid, getting beaten with that belt and thinking in my head, "Please stop. Please stop and take the belt out of your pants." My mother was a very typical Irish woman. For example, she couldn't cook. She was a terrible, terrible cook. She thought that burnt was a spice. And she put that shit on everything. At dinner time, we didn't say grace, we said the last rites. I remember when she cooked a roast so long and so hard, she's now credited with making the first man-made diamond. Yeah, she was a terrible cook. I was at the mall last week with her. We stopped at the food court, and they found her guilty. My mother used to tell us there's nothing to be ashamed about growing up poor. She said poor kids would get things that rich kids never got. And she was right. We did get things that rich kids never got. We got lice, food stamps, briquettes. Growing up, Halloween was an awesome holiday for poor kids like myself. We used to put on our Sunday best and go out as orphans. I got screwed on my birthdays, though. I had one of those birthdays that was close to a major holiday, so my birthday consisted of opening up my so-called birthday presents that were wrapped with Christmas wrapping and put under the Christmas tree. And it really sucks because my birthday was in June. I hate birthdays now more that I'm older. At some point, you can't deny that you're old when you have a birthday. And this past one was the one for me. My family made a nice cake with the big wax numbers in it. No more small candles. They sang happy birthday. and I blew out my back. Anybody here dating? All right, everybody's quiet. I just started dating again, and my wife is pissed. She's not pissed that I go out, she's pissed that I keep coming back. I was making love to my wife last year. And when I was done, I said, "Hon, how was that?" And she said, "You're cold, selfish, and insensitive." And that was hurtful because I considered those my moves. My wife told me that marriage is like a cavity. It hurts, it stinks, and she won't be happy until she can find a dentist that'll drill her. I got married for purely selfish reasons. I was tired of being happy. Okay, that's my time, everybody. Thank you very much.